So the first category would be internal damages. These are things that you don't necessarily see, but the victim of narcissistic abuse deals with this. And as they're coming out of the fog, they start to acknowledge these things are happening. So they definitely feel blamed for everything. They feel disapproved of and guilty, inadequate and insecure. And all these things are because, they were blamed for a lot. Especially if they were the scapegoat in the family, they were considered the blame for everything. They feel undeserving and unworthy. They feel they are unaware, and they don't understand what is normal, healthy behavior. When they leave the narcissistic abuse, they're not aware because they think that's normal. It's one thing if you're married to a narcissist. Most get divorced, and then they move on and they cure themselves because they were a person before they came into the relationship. With a child, that's all they know. So they have no idea what healthy behavior is. They just know that something isn't right. One of the things that I experience, and another point on this list is impulsive lying, and they put in the context of lying for survival, because oftentimes, when, say, a narcissist asks you, "Did you do this?" In order to not cause a fight and not be yelled at for 3 hours, because it feels like that after they're done with you, the narcissist just keeps on yelling and yelling and yelling. They love to yell, but we can come up with this kind of defense mechanism to just lie. No, I didn't do it, because it saves us for the moment. So that becomes a habit. And so when they want to avoid something, they might just lie. And so I found myself, especially in high school, lying about the dumbest things. What did you eat for breakfast? Where'd you go this weekend? I would just lie. Also, another point is self-judgment. We tend to judge ourselves very harshly. We cannot receive compliments. That's a big thing, because we don't feel like we're deserving of any, and because we're not used to it. It's almost like we're skeptical. People may say something about the way we look, or the way we speak, or what kind of friend we are. We're like, "Oh, shut up," or we just say, whatever, doesn't really matter. That's the inability to receive compliments, because of the lack of a feeling of adequacy, feeling of worthiness to be complimented, and capable of communicating one's wants or needs. And I will say I will raise my hand to this, because even now, after going on no contact with my dad, I would say I would go off and on, but now it's been a year since I've actually spoken to him, and he is the narcissist of our family. And I feel that even now, the effects of all that I went through in my household, I still don't feel like I can ask for anything. I still feel ashamed when I have to call my mom and say, "Hey," it even takes me a while to even conjure up a text to send to her to say, "Hey, I'm struggling, I need money." It was really hard to even say, "Hey, I'm hungry, I need food, I need money to buy food." I didn't even feel adequate enough to do that. But that's a huge thing, feeling even ashamed. That goes into the existence, shame for even existing, is that we feel ashamed for even having to ask for needs, because we're so used to them not being met. We're so used to them being questioned, like, why do we have to hear what you need? What about what we need? What about us? How do we benefit from this? Being extremely loyal in relationships that are unhealthy. And even, I would say, right now I'm working on I call this not running after people. But I'm learning not to run after people. Because if I'm valuable to them, they will contact me. So some of the behavioral manifestations, I'll try to make this video quick. We can be extremely controlling of our environment, which is very true, because we're so used to not being in control of our life that we feel like, okay, if there's anything I can control, this has to be it. We can judge ourselves and others too harshly. Let's see. We can definitely cover our insecurities with perfectionism. So in trying to be perfect and trying to make everything around us perfect, That's just a cover, because underneath it all, we're actually very insecure. We're very incapable. So in order to appear that we have everything together, we force ourselves to get everything together, to be perfect, to expect perfection from others. We find that we definitely avoid criticism and disagreements, you know. Actually, another thing it says is that we have difficulty being in heightened environments. And heightened environments meaning even like being around a slight disagreement between friends, we feel uncomfortable. Or if they're just not in a good mood, we feel like, ugh. I think that's the empathic part, just absorbing people's energies, but just not feeling comfortable in that environment, because we never know if someone's going to blow up. All these different aspects that people that have suffered from narcissistic abuse may exhibit. So please like and comment your experience. Thanks for listening, and I will, I guess, see you in the next video.